What's up and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to discuss Borderlands 2 and just how it could live forever. Now I know some of your first thoughts when you saw that title or read that thumbnail, but what I'm going to be talking about is how Gearbox could have not only prolonged the life of Borderlands 2, but how they could have potentially helped it outlive each and every single one of you on the other side of that screen, while also running down a realistic outline of how we could help it live forever today. The game that thrived off its incredible community and amazing DLC content that was released. What would you say if I told you that they could have kept adding to Borderlands 2? Cause while BL2 isn't in the worst shape it could be, I'd be a saint in hell if I told you it's in the best condition it could be. Before I jump into it though, I wanted to take a second to give a huge thanks to Gaz for taking time out of his day to make me a brand new fresh profile picture and a clean ass channel art, putting what I had previously to absolute shame. He himself didn't even want payment for the work he had done either, saying he also didn't mind if I didn't use them. Man, are you crazy? That's 1,000 times better than what I had previously. And I'm being real too. So if anybody at all is looking for graphics, cover arts for any of your music that you might be working on, social media packages, I think Gaz here is going to have you covered. Link to his Instagram will be in the description below. Just wanted to say again, bro, thank you so much for doing that. Genuinely made my entire day when I saw that DM. So with that out of the way, now that you know what you're in for, let's just go ahead and jump straight into it. So we all know that Borderlands 2 is one of the absolute best gaming purchases you can make right now. You can buy Borderlands 2 with all of its DLC right now for just $30. And if you haven't yet purchased this game on Steam, when I tell you that's the best 30 bomb you'll ever spend on anything video game related, if you take anything out of today's video, let it be that. But that doesn't make it perfect. If you ask me, nothing is perfect in life. Even the finest things have flaws beneath the surface. Athletes who love what they do eventually get CTE. Potheads and smokers get cancer. Whether you enjoy sports or just a simple bong rip on the back porch, there's pretty much something bad in everything if you really break it down. So, not to get off topic, I just think that's a pretty fair way to look at it. As great as Borderlands 2 is, it could also be so much better. And that's coming from someone who says this is the greatest game of all time. So, the first thing I would have done, let's roll back the clocks to 2014 for a minute. The pre-sequel's on the way, and the Son of Cromrax Headhunter Pack for Borderlands 2 has already released. Step 1. I'm just merging pre-sequel into the second game. We could just cancel that whole damn thing altogether. Why not just split the pre-sequel into a 2-part DLC for Borderlands 2? The first part being your true 5th DLC to Borderlands 2, and the second part being your true 6th DLC for Borderlands 2. For example, the first part of the pre-sequel DLC, if it were to be in Borderlands 2, it could end off around the part where we kill the Marif. Or, somewhere around there, the middle of the story. And the second half ending with the way the pre-sequel ends. Then we could have also got the pre-sequel characters over in Borderlands 2, essentially bringing us from 6 playable Vault Hunters to 12 playable Vault Hunters in Borderlands 2. Could you imagine? Even though we kill some of them in the second game, you have time travel, alternate timelines. This is a damn video game. Borderlands doesn't pride itself on being realistic. There's plenty of workarounds to make it all line up. Imagine Claptrap helping Claptrap get his eye from Knuckle Dragger. Wilhelm or Nisha being forced to face themselves, as well as Timothy, Jack's body double. Imagine those unique bits of dialogue we could have got to hear. Or those characters reacting to their own downfall from the other side in a completely different perspective where they're actually the ones having to put themselves down. And I know that may sound kind of dumb. Keep in mind, alternate timelines can make this all feasible. Like I said, this is a video game. It doesn't have to be realistic. And if you're wondering how they can make it all kind of tie in and be cohesive and actually make a little bit of sense, since the pre-sequel takes place before Borderlands 2, the pre-sequel characters have to start in those DLCs. And when I say the pre-sequel characters, you have to have the mindset like they're in Borderlands 2 for a minute. So let's say you're playing Borderlands 2 with these new DLCs and you want to start up Anisha. You'll be level 1 with that character, and it doesn't affect anyone who also doesn't have these DLCs in the first place, because the characters could just be connected to the DLCs anyway. It doesn't have to be a separate purchase. You can only play with the pre-sequel characters if you own the respective DLCs with that story. Just wait, I'll get to how they tie into the Borderlands 2 story in a minute. So my idea is the character select screen would pop up with all 12 of your characters from the pre-sequel and Borderlands 2, except for obviously it's all in Borderlands 2. And let's just say from the rip you want to select a pre-sequel character. You will start in that pre-sequel DLC. But after you play through the pre-sequel's DLC and you have reached level 30, but after you've completed the whole pre-sequel story, then you can start the events of Borderlands 2 on said character that you selected. As for the OG6 and BL2, they will start at the beginning of Borderlands 2. And if you're wondering how they end up in the pre-sequel, by the end of Borderlands 2, instead of putting Jack down yourself or selecting Lilith to put him out of his misery, they could give you an option to actually talk to Handsome Jack and hear his entire story, thus starting your true Vault Hunter mode with that Borderlands 2 character in the pre-sequel story. This would not only make the playthroughs completely unique and diverse compared to what they are now, as you now have a completely new story that you can experience in true Vault Hunter mode. You would get to learn why everything you just saw actually happened. And that sounds a little whack at first, right? You're like, why the hell would I want to do that? Why would I want to experience it backwards? Most of you dumbasses saying that already experienced it backwards when you played Borderlands 2 first. So that argument is completely moot in my opinion. So then we'd have Borderlands 2 with 12 playable Vault Hunters, laser weapons, new legendaries, new enemies, the grinder if you want. You could just take out moonstones and make it all iridium, not to overdo anything. Then the Claptastic Voyage could have been the 7th Borderlands 2 DLC. It's not rocket science, people. Followed up by the original planned pre-sequel DLC or the Commander Lilith Fight for Sanctuary that we did eventually get. Boom, there's 8 DLCs right there, double what we have now, not counting the character packs and the Headhunter DLCs, of course. I'm talking standalone full-on DLC stories. That could have brought them all the way through 2015 and potentially 2016. Also, if you're wondering about what they could have done with the Handsome collection at that point, as the pre-sequel obviously wouldn't have been in it, so it wouldn't have been a collection unless they put Borderlands 1 in there. We can just forget that though. I think it's pretty easy. After the 8th DLC, Commander Lilith / the Lost pre-sequel DLC, Handsome Collection would have just become a complete edition of Borderlands 2, at least for the time of release. Because as I stated earlier, I think this game thrives on its content, the DLC content to be more specific. If they would have just kept adding to Borderlands 2, I really think it would still be able to pull 50,000 monthly players collectively across all platforms. The game was so hot for so long, being the proclaimed COD killer of 2012 and 2013. If Gearbox would have continued to support BL2, we may have seen the community continue to prosper like we once did. As ever since the original dev cycle wrapped, the heyday of Borderlands 2 ended, the pre-sequel did what the pre-sequel did, and now the cracks in the ground are apparent. And with each release afterward, they've truly showed how little they care about what the core audience thinks about these games. But what the hell do I know? Right? Anyways, now that I've discussed how they easily could have continued the life of this game, let's answer the harder question in the most realistic way possible. How can it live forever? Now, in 2023 going on 2024, with no DLC coming out, no support outside of shift codes here and there, which are usually just golden keys. Yay. Golden keys. Nonetheless, they still have proven in 2019 with the Commander Lilith DLC that adding to Borderlands 2 isn't out of the possibility, with them also stating recently in the Borderlands podcast that they pay attention to their player counts on all of their older Borderlands games. We know they have some interest in these old relics, whether it be small or large, and since Borderlands 4 is still a ways off at this point, Gearbox has zero plans to fix this game. While the issues are small, the scaling of OP10 could definitely use some attention. Even though I enjoy the difficulty of the later levels, they are definitely going to alienate any new players that happen to get that far. Figuring a lot of the established player base doesn't even like the OP levels. But that isn't the point I'm trying to make. The point is, since they're paying attention to the player counts, the videos, the comments, the best thing you can do is just play the game. Enjoy Borderlands 2. Play with friends. Support your favorite content creators here on YouTube by liking, commenting, and sharing their videos to your friends who also love and enjoy these fucking games like we do. But seriously, just keep playing it, keep enjoying it, keep loving it. And if you're feeling a little burnt out, I did a whole top 5 on ways to avoid burnout. Go check that out if you're interested. If they just continued to add to Borderlands 2, or if one day they decided to go back and add more to it, it's going to go that much further in making the game live. I just want to see Borderlands 2 enjoyed for generations to come. I don't want to be the one boomer who's still playing in 20 years. Even though I know I won't be, you all will still be here with me, right? But yeah, that's really it for today. I wanted to just talk about how this game could live forever, as I truly think it can. But if you want another creator to watch who's currently got a Borderlands 2 Hyperion Allegiance playthrough featuring yours truly, I think Milkman is going to have you guys covered. He just released the 4th episode of the series, and if you're interested in chatting with myself or Milkman, we are going to be live Monday night on his Twitch. Links to the new episode and the Twitch will be in the description. Go show him some love, and damn it, come say hello to us on Twitch. I'd love to get to chat with some of you and get to hear your different thoughts and reactions to all things Borderlands. So be sure to give Milkman a follow on Twitch, as that's where you can find me tomorrow night with the 5th episode of the playthrough. Please let me know what you think can help this game live forever down in the comments below. For me, I think the best thing we can do at this point is just to continue to play it, enjoy it, hell, maybe show it to a friend who's never played. But yeah, that's really all I've got for you guys today. I hope you all did enjoy today's video. If you did, make sure to smash a like on it and subscribe if you guys are new. I love you all to death. Please, for the love of God, stay safe out there. And with that, I will see you all in the next one.